Too much fucking mushies.
Oh. Welcome back, everyone. Episode 5. Here we go again. Big Dax, before we start, how much did you love Top Boy?
Great show. Absolutely ripper of a show.
Mad show, eh? What was your favourite part?
Well, it's a very dark series.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, what favourite part could you say without sounding?
You know the part that
violent?
I loved that threw me when the two. Oh, I don't want to ruin it for people.
Nah.
If you're gonna watch it, if you're gonna watch Top Boy, just mute this bit. My favourite part.
Before you say that, I didn't like Top Boy until we said it.
No, because I was watching the other one, Summer House. Don't watch Summer House. Watch the other one.
All right.
Watch the other one.
What's your favourite part? You got to finish that.
When the undercover cops are the junkies. That I was like, oh.
Yeah. That probably ruined it for everybody now.
Yeah, well, that's why I said
about 9 episodes deep before you realise that.
Don't
Yeah.
listen to this bit.
Very brutal show, but it's very addictive.
Yeah.
And if you're doing cardio over morning, I think each episode goes for about 40 minutes, half an hour. Yeah, about.
Oh, no, I think it's more than that.
Is it?
I swear it goes for like an hour, eh?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And it makes your cardio go just like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, check it out. Not sponsored,
yeah,
but just enjoyed it.
isn't it?
Say no more. Right, so today we're going to touch on the differences between training styles, basic training styles. Real lightly just touch over the top of it because there is a lot of confusion about should I be doing strength training, should I be doing hypertrophy training, should I be doing aerobic training, should I be doing anaerobic training, and you know it can get very confusing, especially if you're new. So we're just going to sort of touch on the difference between strength training and hypertrophy training, the difference between aerobic training and anaerobic training, and just roughly give you guys the tools that you might need, especially if you're new, to start to structure your own kind of programs in the gym.
Go.
I was trying to give you some airtime.
No. And also, I feel like by us explaining the differences of training styles, it might be able to put you in the right frame of mind to what training you probably should be doing or could be doing. I feel like a lot of people are training a certain way just to look a certain way, where it could be harder. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Okay, for an example, right? I have a lot of people come to me and they're running. They're getting up, they're running 10Ks, 20, maybe 10, 15.
They're running.
And I was like, cool. And they're going, like, my knees are starting to hurt. My ankles are starting to hurt. I'm like, okay, cool. Do you enjoy running? Fuck no. What are you doing? I want to lose weight.
Yeah, I got you.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. They think that, to lose fat and to build muscle and look a certain way, they've got to run and.
That's right.
Now, you know, another one is light weights with high reps.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Running can lead to fat loss for sure.
Yeah.
But if you're not enjoying your running, there's other ways to lose fat or weight, right? Just an example.
Yeah, I get.
We'll dive into that. That's,
or if that running is implementing your ability to lift weights because your knees are sore.
That's right.
They
Can't
like
squat.
That. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So basically, we'll start with the weights kind of side of things. So the two main modalities of training, which most people are going to do, is either a strength-based training or a hypertrophy-based training. Now, strength training is obviously what we're looking to do is increase our power output and build strength periodically over time. So you might do a strength block of, 6 weeks, and over that time, your main goal is to increase your bench, squat, and dead. And your coach or whoever it might be will structure a training program for you that will obviously increase over time to get you to a point that they and you believe you should be at the end of 6 weeks. Hypertrophy training is a little bit different. Obviously, hypertrophy training is more kind of like bodybuilding style training, where we're increasing the amount of volume that the muscle can undertake. So higher reps with still substantial weight, with the goal to obviously have that more sort of full arm, rounded, sort of more sculpted muscle.
To help build muscle.
To build muscle, yeah.
Absolutely. They also could come with strength as well.
Absolutely. That's why it's hard, because obviously you're going to build muscle by building strength, but it's a different kind of muscle. Like you look at a strongman or a powerlifter versus a bodybuilder, they have two very different physiques, and that's because they have two different training styles as well. And those two training styles are obviously strength-based training or hypertrophy-based training.
And then what also fucks it when you get a bodybuilder, Like we always talk about Ronnie Coleman, but there's other guys like Larry Wheels. Is his name Larry Wheels?
Larry Wheeler.
Wheels?
Yeah.
Looks great.
Yeah, Larry Wheels.
and one of the strongest guys there is.
Yeah.
Powerlifter.
Yeah.
But also looks like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So that's probably where a bit of misconfusion.
Yeah. Well, I think that's because you can have these two training styles overlap.
For sure, 100%.
Like you
Definitely.
could. There's definitely. I think they call it. I can't remember what they call it.
Power building.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, power building. Where you're both training strength and hypertrophy training, and I think it's a good way to train. Because you're building, especially if you're new. I mean, when you're new, you're going to build muscle. You're going to build muscle anyway, but it's going to give you that good foundation.
For sure.
Yeah.
I always would love to see, only the simple fact because you see these males or females lifting these heavyweight. Like I see these even customers we have, and they're lifting like females like deadlifting 180 for 200 for reps. And you're like, what the fuck? Like insane. I wonder what they would look like if they were to diet down for a show, bodybuilding show. Not that they'd probably even give a fuck that they want to, but how much muscle they would have because of their lifting and weight.
Well,
do you know what I mean? I reckon that would look fucking awesome.
You know who the perfect example of that is? Mike.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. Power building.
Yeah, power builded into his last show, and he's back. Far out, man. That thing grew. I mean, you can't like rows are great, like machines are great, but you can't build that kind of like big, thick, meaty,
dense muscle
without deadlifts.
That's right. That's the difference between someone who lifts heavy deadlifts and who doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially when you go to a bodybuilding show, it's evident straight away. They turn to the back, and you can see the ones that deadlifts and
of
things
course,
like straight away.
Of course.
So in terms of sort of rest periods, your strength training tends to have a little bit more of a rest, so you're kind of at that 3 to 5 minute mark. That's so your muscles can obviously recoup and you're ready to go again. Your hypertrophy training, obviously, it's a little bit more volume based, so you want that rest period about 1:30, 2 minutes. Keep the intensity high. We're trying to burn the calories at the same time and just really engorge the muscle full of blood, so you can obviously stretch the muscle fascia and get more nutrients, more blood flow, more growth. Both are great. It comes down to your goal in terms of what you actually want to achieve. If you're, say we're coming into winter now, a lot of the bodybuilders, if they're not doing a show coming up, they're going to be going through some sort of an off-season phase. Probably a good idea to start looking at some strength training and trying to add some dense quality muscle tissue, like you said, incorporating things like big deadlifts, big rows, squats, bench press, things like that, which are going to help add that thickness and that juiciness to the muscle. And then obviously if you're doing that for 6 to 8 weeks, if you're doing season B or something like that, then you go back to hypertrophy training after that and start to really fill those muscles up. Yeah.
Add some more calories, do some heavy lifting, and if you're unsure how to perform these exercises right, like deadlifts and squats or a bench, then go and see a powerlifter.
Yeah.
Go and hook up with a powerlifter, get them to put you through couple of sessions, or if they're coaching, then get them to coach you through this. It's a perfect way to do it. Years ago, I done this when I was just doing Muay Thai. I just wanted to do heavy lifting, so I went and saw a powerlifter and helped my technique heaps. I never really got massive from it, but my technique was a lot better. I feel like that's a really, really good point.
Well, speaking of Muay Thai, that brings us into the second part of this little podcast, is the difference between aerobic training and anaerobic training. And like you mentioned at the start, running is a type of aerobic training. It's done over a sustained period of time with the goal to increase fitness, increase your overall fitness, your endurance. Obviously both types of fitness. So your anaerobic is more of your HIIT-based, short, sharp bursts of output. They're both going to burn calories. They're both going to burn fat. This is where it comes back to sort of what are you trying to achieve?
I guess, so it's like what we were touching on before. Because a lot of people at the moment, like a lot of people just want to look the best they can. Which is great, right? If that is you, I really feel like you should have a look at your training and find out what you like to enjoy. Okay, so for an example, for me, like at the moment, cardio for me, on a treadmill, it's boring as fuck, but I used to love doing Muay Thai. That was a great way for me to do cardio, and it kept me lean as well. Instead, like we were talking about running, like more like aerobic was just like a long distance running. Didn't work for me. Hurt my knees, and I didn't lose weight from it. If anything, I would put my body under more stress, and I looked worse.
Well, you tend, if you're a heavier guy, of course,
For
it's
sure.
going to hurt more, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, if you're someone who wants to increase their overall fitness and you enjoy running, you could definitely look at training through that aerobic style of training. So, think of like runs, long cycles, swimming,
yeah,
rowing, something over a sustained long period of time that's going to increase your fitness and increase your aerobic activity. When we break it down to a sport, obviously, I think, like, say if you did take Muay Thai or boxing or fighting into the equation, you're going to need both aerobic and anaerobic, because if you think of, say, Muay Thai, there is short, sharp bursts, which is your anaerobic. Then there is that sustained long period of cardio where you need that fitness.
You know what's really perfect for UFC?
Yeah.
How many, like those guys and females that are training for fights, they cross over both.
Both, yeah, for sure.
They're lifting weights, and they're running, and
they're probably crossing over both strength and hypertrophy.
That's what I mean. They're doing. That's why it's mixed martial arts.
Yeah,
it's a mix. They're doing all styles of training to be the best they can.
Yeah.
So there's absolutely.
And like anyone else who's training, there's going to be a crossover where you might get to the point where you feel like, I really need to increase my fitness. I'm going to start training more aerobically and do some running or things like that. But if it gets to the point, like you said, that your knees start to hurt, that starts to implement your main goal of building muscle, you might have to adjust things, and maybe you look at doing circuit training or HIIT training or something else to help burn those extra calories.
Yeah,
and,
it's like I said, find something fun that you enjoy to train.
Yeah.
A lot of people wouldn't really like to do Muay Thai to get punched in the face, sort of thing. You know what I mean? But you can also go in there and just
do it for fitness.
Yeah, that's a great way to burn calories.
Yeah. Or boxing, or whatever it might be. Even playing a team sport.
Yep.
Basketball, soccer, things like that is going to increase your fitness. It's that short, sharp burst style of training, which is really good for both fitness, health, maintaining muscle tissue as well. We find, obviously, with the aerobic style of things, it can slightly tap into muscle tissue as a fuel source. Not ideal if you're trying to do a strength block and you're running 40 kilometers a day.
That's right.
Very hard to sort of maintain, and you're probably going to be more prone to injuries and things like that. So
like more anaerobic training would be
definitely
better. Like
HIIT training, circuit training.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Boxing, things like that, which is more low impact.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
hopefully that gave you guys some ideas on how to structure things. And if you are feeling a bit lost, chat to us. We can point you in the right direction in terms of coaching or structuring a program, etc. Because if you are new, it can be quite daunting. Or do I go for a run, or do I do boxing, or do I do how many reps, sets, weights? What weights do I do? So don't be afraid to reach out, talk to some people, talk to some PTs, and get yourself on the right track.
So we've got a fair few questions again.
Sweet.
Which is great. First question. Ready? Okay. If you could go back to your 16-year-old self and give training advice, what would it be?
Probably more on the diet side for me. I would have liked to tell myself what to eat, how frequently to eat. I feel like eating's probably the biggest part, because back at 16 you're so fresh, and any training you do, you're gonna, like we said, you're gonna start building lean muscle. I think for me personally, training it would have been the food side of things. I was so lost with that till about 20 something. Yeah, for sure. But the problem is, and I was similar back then when we were 16. We didn't have the how do I put this? Knowledge. We didn't have the knowledge. We didn't have the.
There wasn't that much online. That's right. We didn't have the ability to jump online and look up what we should be eating. For me, for getting ready for a show, what I should be doing with this, what training should I be doing going into a show, this, that, and that. So you sort of just guessed it, and you asked someone, they said this, the next person said that, this person said that. Well, nothing really is different these days, but we can just jump on, flick online, bang, and a whole bunch of information, right? And we had there was no Instagram and stuff like that. So all we had was bodybuilding magazines. So we're looking at fucking Ronnie Coleman's or Jay Cutler's diet going into a show. Like, fuck, I've got to eat 600 grams of protein. Sweet.
Bison.
Yeah, or bison. Mum, where do you get bison from? What the hell are you talking about? Grits. Mum, we've got to get grits. You can only get them in America.
You need Ezekiel bread.
Ezekiel bread. Good old cornbread. So, like, I would like to go back and be able to tell myself the information that I have now.
Yeah.
Fuck, I could go on all day.
Yeah.
But that would be perfect to do. All right. Why is the stepper the go-to for cardio, shredding, and prepping? All right. So.
Sleeves are adjusted.
Nah, because the person that's asked this question, he knows that when I am prepping someone for a show, that I put them on the stepper.
Yeah.
And you know what? There is absolutely no scientific research to back this, but I have evidence of this has worked over the period of time of me doing it to my athletes. For an example, if we go back to, say, like when I was prepping females, so the last 3 or 4 weeks before a show, cardio-wise, I would get them to do the Stairmaster, right? Half an hour, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, whatever. Ever longer than 40 minutes. Now, the time they come around to a comp from 4 weeks out, they're always had tighter glutes and tighter hamstrings, and they're always leaner through the back of their legs, where a lot of females tend to hold fat around there and fluid, and it always seemed to like loosen it up. Now, that was for one reason. Then two, it's such a better way to burn calories. Your heart rate goes through the fucking roof.
Well, think about it. You're using your legs, your glutes, two of the biggest muscles.
Absolutely.
In the body.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I do it for the guys. I've had Drew prepping for a show, and the same thing. Have you seen that bloke's legs?
Well, yeah, exactly. And you look at any of the top pros, they're picking the stair machine.
Yeah, that's it.
You got Kai Green in a hoodie on the stair machine. Jay Cutler.
That done it for me, Kai Green, years ago. Red 40 down in his mouth, just stomping away, seeing his hamstrings just bouncing up and down.
You're like, sweat dripping off him.
It just seems to work so much better.
Yeah.
And like I said, it tightens up the glutes and hammies, and when you get ready for a show and you hit like your back pose, it always seems to that's where a lot of shows are won by, like, you know, how your hammies and glutes look, because they're a hard place to lose fat.
Yeah.
And then if you're not doing for a show, it's just a better way to burn fat, in my opinion. Burn more calories. No scientific research, but I've got a lot of people that've done it, and it's worked very fucking well.
Yeah.
Oh, I reckon that answers really well. Will Ara design next-gen Speedos for next summer, as I think I
can't do Speedos, man.
Fly off the shelves.
No, not doing Speedos. I can't do it, I can't.
Nah,
I can't.
I don't know. Like,
I can't get down with Speedos,
does this bloke wear Speedos?
I don't know.
Do you wear Speedos? I won't mention his name. Nah, so that's the answer.
No. I don't want to design anything I don't like. I don't like Speedos.
Have you guys heard of D-Ball Max?
Sounds like some sort of pro hormone.
Google it.
I'll pull it up.
D-Ball Max. Yeah, to me it sounds like, you know, when you flick through Facebook and it's got like fucking InnoSurge and then InnoWood or something. It's like, take this supplement and you get massive hard-ons for like days.
Spelled it? D-Ball Max. Okay, here we go.
And it's going to be a testosterone booster with tribulus, arginine, fenugreek. Nah, am I wrong? What is it?
It says whey protein concentrate, isoleucine, valine, and leucine, and a bit of tribulus.
Oh, fuck, they got the tribulus in there.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's just one of those products, bro, that's had ingredients in it that have been around. It's a protein powder with tribulus. Now, if I remember correctly, there was a product years ago, Testeroid. Do you remember Testeroid? It was a protein powder with tribulus or fenugreek in it, which does seems to increase natural testosterone levels. And they called it Testeroid. Fuck, it sold well. Had this big juiced up bloke on the front. But man, a lot of that shit's such a scam.
Oh man, yeah, far out. It's been a while since I've seen a fucking product like that. But
fuck, I'd never
do your research.
Do your research. Holes in the t-shirt.
Personally.
I should get a cut from the
D-Bell Max.
Okay. Where do you? This guy can't spell. Sorry. Where do you boys see yourselves in 10 years in the business?
10 years.
That's scary.
Far
5 I
out,
could
man.
maybe hopefully answer, but 10 years? Look, I'm going to be really honest here. As much as I love working in the store, and I do, I'm there most days, and so is Ira, I don't see myself working in the shop every day. We're open for 10 years' time. Now, we're going to be getting pretty old by then, and I feel like it's so hard to say 10 years. I hope I'd
say
Jesus. Yeah. But I hope we're obviously going to have a massive part of Next-Gen still, and we'll have a whole bunch of young, enthusiastic. Corey will be like sort of old by then, so he'll be like, he'll be us
he'll
in
be
10 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys will have to answer to Corey. Corey! But, yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully we got some other projects going. I would like for us to go down the property route. We've been talking about it for years, but we kind of missed that boat pre-COVID. So hopefully we're doing some kind of developments or something like that.
But in this business.
In this one.
In this business.
It'd be more probably taking a step back and growing it and refining it. And
the thing is, we could do probably a lot more. Well, we do heaps, I'm going to admit it, but like we're still so invested in the store every day.
Yeah.
It's like, and whenever we're out, we're either at another store. So it's like really hard to do everything. Does that make sense? I knew what I meant, but like to get more done on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. I don't know.
10 years is hectic. I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah. Maybe someone just comes and offers us X amount and we go, you know what? Let's retire.
What's your favourite supplement?
Favourite sup? We're going to be biased here. I'm not going to... Okay, it can't be a magic product or a Mad Labs product or a status product. Can't be any of ours.
I'm going to say hard.
Yeah, man. Core hard for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That
product works, man.
Fuck, I don't think I've used a product that has worked so well for me. And I uploaded a fair bit on my Instagram, but I do use it every day. Scoop in the morning and 2 scoops before I go to bed. Every night. Gets rid of that watery shit that we all hold on to from stress. And it really does harden you up.
Yeah.
And it's safe.
Yeah. You know what other product, actually, if I was going to pick something else? Laxo Pure. I've been so impressed with that over the last 6 weeks. I thought I just gave it a run, running nothing else with it, just Laxo Pure. And it has increased my strength, increased my muscle, like the volume of muscle. Safe for both males and females. Yeah, I'd say those two, hard and Laxo Pure.
Thanks, Joe.
Man, the phone's running off the hook today.
What to look for in a prep coach? I feel like I've answered this a bit, but maybe you haven't watched our YouTube video. That's right. No. Someone that invests their time into you and your prep. Somebody that has good knowledge of competition and the process of getting down to that point where you're super lean and you start to lose your mind a little bit, because most people do, and then knows how to handle that. Instead of a coach that goes, oh, fuck, he's lost his mind. I can't be bothered to answer his calls. Like, unless you have done it yourself or you've been involved in it for so long, you won't know how to handle your client. So that's what you're going to look for. A coach that's done all that and he's going to 100% put their time and effort into you and get you into the best shape you possibly can for that day or days.
So look for someone with a track record. Multiple clients, different body types.
Just because someone is a coach, an online fucking... I don't know, it annoys me a little bit. It's just because someone's like an online coach, right? And I'm not like, fuck... They're probably getting good results of clients, but just because they've done that doesn't mean they're going to be a good prep coach. Imagine them on the day of the show. And that's a whole thing in itself. I've got a comp this Saturday with young Cooper, and we've been talking about this for weeks, what we're going to do. I already know he gets his tan at 7:45. At 8 o'clock, he's got his his the team meeting, right, of all the judges and everyone else on the panel, and then at 8:30 we start eating food he goes on the stage at 10 o'clock. Like, fuck, that's how invested you have to be with your client. Not just rock up on the day like, the fuck are we doing? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you need to know. That's what you should look like. Look for. Yeah, sorry. There's a few more. Okay, going back on what I already said. What's the best, natty product to build muscle? And I'll agree what Aria said. Laxopure is amazing.
I haven't tried Turk yet. Should probably after my surgery I'm going to try Turk.
Same thing with me. I started taking Laxopure about 2 or 3 weeks before I went to Hawaii and used it over there, and have used it ever since. And it's kept me so much more fuller.
Full, yeah.
Like legit fuller, and my strength is great. Not that I try and lift heavy, but I just feel stronger when I'm training. And like you said before, it is great for males and females because there's no real hormonal impact. And I have used it for females in prepping for shows, and it's considerably, the difference from using it not is massive.
Yeah.
They're harder, they're drier on stage.
Yeah.
And like I said, it doesn't mess with their hormones. So there was no drama with their hormones after.
Yeah.
It Laxopure or Laxogenin, fuck whatever you say it. Laxogenin is actually a really good natural muscle builder.
Yeah.
I think this is the last question. Thoughts on haters and jealousy? You can start with that one.
Far out, man. We've copped it since day one. Literally since day one. And at the start, it used to get to us both, and we'd get that rolled up, and we'd start having a crack back. Now we're just to the point where, I don't know, you're probably the same. I know you're the same. We just don't give a shit anymore. Like, if you're gonna hate, good on you. Like, I don't care. Usually, it means that you're not doing anything of noteworthy anyway. So, who cares? I think a lot of like younger people kind of get caught up in what people think of them, and then when you get to our age, you kind of don't give a shit because you got your own goals and own ambitions, and I mean, to waste time trying to get back at people, I couldn't be fucked with it, man. Could not.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about us in the business and the jealousy and the haters we've had people come and go, friends come and go in this store, and we've seen them shop elsewhere. The thing is, like, we turn up every day, we do the best we can. We serve customers the best we can, and we legit care about people. And if they go and talk shit about us or leave us or start repping another company, we've done everything we possibly could do to give them the best customer service and best service we could. And like, we used to like hate it. We used to like get the shits and get so caught up in it, but I couldn't give a fuck anymore. No. I really couldn't care less. Any customer that comes in, or anyone that wants to shop with us, or anyone wants help, I'll give them 100%. If you're going to talk shit about us, if you're going to bag us, you're going to try and copy us, whatever, we don't give a fuck. We haven't got time for that.
If you think you can do it better yourself, go and do it. Like,
yeah.
By all means. It ain't easy.
Yeah, we couldn't, I couldn't give a shit. Like, I really, really couldn't. There's no time to waste anymore.
Yeah.
That's, may have sounded pretty blunt, but it's true. It's fucking true.
Hey, say no more.
Oh, Top Boy. Love Top Boy.
That's episode 5 in the books. We'll be back next week.
Yeah, next, I've got some, like I said, I've answered pretty much every question. So I want to ask next for what's Tuesday, drop some questions in there because we love answering them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it helps you guys. So that's the main reason we're doing this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Perfect. No, we've got some good feedback on these, and I'm really happy about it.
Beautiful. Keep it up then. All right.
I hope you could hear me this time round. I spoke closer to the microphone.
Everything helps us. Enjoy your day.